You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded outside our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 29th of October, 2025. It is 37 days after the fall equinox. It is 53 days before the winter solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 8th day of Brumaire, the day of the Scorsonnière, the black salsify. The sun rises today at 7:23 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:39 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:55 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 6:24 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6:56 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 25 seconds shorter than yesterday. Today, the moon reaches its first quarter at 12:21 p.m. The full moon will arrive on Wednesday, the 5th of November. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the early morning, high tide, 4:20 a.m., 1 meter 19. In the late morning, low tide, 10:22 a.m., 34 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:36 p.m., 1 meter 37. At night, low tide, 11:01 p.m., 12 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, tall, thin shoots of the Siberian iris are just emerging from the ground. The Siberian iris blooms in late spring and early summer, and then tends to die back. But in the fall, the shoots break through the ground again and grow tall and green. In the city, or perhaps depending on your garden's microclimate, these shoots can stay green through the winter and stand about 1.5 feet tall. So as most of the garden pulls back, dies off, goes dormant, here is a bright anticipation of the spring that awaits us on the other side of winter. Commemorations. Events that shaped our world. On this day in the year 539 BCE, King Cyrus of Persia took the city of Babylon in what is today Iraq. Cyrus would free the Jewish exiles and allow them to return home. This return would have a profound effect on forging a Jewish identity and the compilation of scriptures we now know as the Bible. On this day in 1929, the stock market crash reached its culmination on Black Tuesday. The Great Depression had begun. On this day in 1964, a massive jewel heist took place at the American Museum of Natural History. Jack Roland Murphy, a Miami Beach boy known as Murph the Surf, along with his accomplice Alan Dale Kuhn, took advantage of the lax security at the museum. They used fire escapes to find an open window and made off with 24 gemstones from the Hall of Gems and Minerals. These included the milky blue sapphire, the Star of India, the DeLong Star ruby, and the Midnight Star sapphire. They were eventually caught because of their freewheeling spending after the burglary, which led to a tip being made to the police. Some of the gems were recovered from a locker in the Miami Trailways bus terminal. Others were found stashed in a Miami phone booth. Murph the Surf and Kuhn were sent to prison, along with one other accomplice. On this day in 1991, the fishing ship Andrea Gale sank in a ferocious storm near Sable Island in the North Atlantic. All 6 members of the crew died. The story of the Andrea Gale was told in the book and film, The Perfect Storm. Today we remember Bob Ross, born this day in 1942. The American painter was the host of the popular television show The Joy of Painting. During his 20-year career in the Air Force, Ross first learned how to paint at the Anchorage USO Club. Many of his paintings would depict natural scenes inspired by his years in Alaska. His calm, soothing voice on television was a trademark. Having experienced lots of barked orders in the military, he vowed never again to raise his voice. Over his life, he produced more than 30,000 paintings. As he would often say, "Let's add some happy little trees." Remember Bob Ross today. Finally, today is National Hermit Day. It is celebrated on the feast of the Christian saint Colman Kilmacduach, who lived for 7 years in solitude in a cave in the west of Ireland in the 7th century. On National Hermit Day, we are invited to unplug, step away, and spend some quiet time by ourselves. Happy National Hermit Day to those taking a rest from our frantic modern existence. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday the 29th of October, 2025.